All right, let's talk about the stench of relativism and the folly of smug skepticism. There's a certain intellectual odor here, not of a farmyard, but of recycled relativism and the tired arrogance of postmodern atheism pretending to be profound. You know the type: condescending tone, philosophical confusion, and a deeper problem hiding beneath it all, an unwillingness to look at the shaky foundations on which the atheist builds their high tower of skepticism. Let's start with the favorite opener. When talking about an absolute anything, that's just your subjective view on that thing. But hold on, do you realize what you're saying? That's a self-defeating statement. You're making an absolute claim about the impossibility of absolutes. It's like climbing onto a roof just to shout, "There are no such things as rooftops." If all claims are subjective, then even your statement has no authority, and I can ignore it with a smile. Now let's get to the absolute moral good. You ask for an example. Okay, how about torturing an innocent child for fun? Is that ever morally acceptable? Most sane, moral human beings across cultures and eras would say no. If you say it's not evil in every case, you're showing a callous detachment from reality, not deep reasoning. But if you admit it's always evil, congratulations, you've just affirmed an absolute moral category. And here's the rub. This is where the atheist worldview crumbles. You borrow moral language, good, evil, right, wrong, from a theistic worldview to criticize belief in God. But on what grounding? Naturalism can only offer survival instincts and chemical impulses, not real morality. Yet the moment you talk about justice or truth, you're smuggling in metaphysical cargo your worldview just can't carry. You might respond, atheism just says the atheist does not think the evidence for God supports the claim that gods exist. But that's reductionist and honestly a bit evasive. Atheism isn't a neutral vacuum, it's a truth claim. There is no God. Hiding behind non-belief is intellectual cowardice. If you claim God doesn't exist, that's a positive claim, and positive claims require justification. You can't demand evidence, then refuse to offer a standard by which evidence should even be judged. You also say believers only cling to God because they can't defend their beliefs. But that's just not true. Christian thinkers have offered volumes of arguments from the cosmological to the ontological. From Aquinas to Craig, Augustine to Lennox, serious thinkers, robust arguments. If you haven't read them, or found them compelling, maybe that says more about your openness to truth than about the evidence itself. Then there's the classic, show me your gods and then we'll talk about what they need and demand. But do you demand to see gravity before you respect it? Can you see logic with your eyes? Taste the laws of mathematics? No. Some truths aren't empirically visible, but they're unavoidably real. You accept logic, causality, consciousness, none of which fit in a test tube. You've got to wrestle with the reality of a moral lawgiver, a designer, and a sustainer. And finally, the mic drop. Sorry if that makes you cry and whine, but evidence is the only way to determine truth. But that's a philosophical claim, not a scientific one, and it can't be proven by the very method it demands. It's self-refuting. So next time you feel the urge to recycle old relativism and smug skepticism, take a closer look at the ground you're standing on. It might not be as solid as you think.